don't work around laws. I think last I remember, marijuana's been illegal for a long time. So people still do work around laws, but it is something that it is a norm that we set. The laws are an expression of community values. It's an expression of the things that we as a community care about.
Richard, would you like to comment on that?
I see a very dangerous thinking behind this kind of attitude. A legislative council pass a law, and then they know that they are not going to enforce it because it's impossible to enforce it, and then they rely on a kind of some writing on the system, and then stop people from doing this. They are not Harry Potter. This is not a spell. This is very dangerous. So next day you can try to propose a ban on some other thing, let you do this, let you not do this, and then they don't even plan more details on how to enforce it. This is not a magic spell. Wake up.
Next question.
Hello, my name is Kevin Taylor, Taylor, and I'm not here so much to pick a side on the shark finning and passing the bylaw, but I guess as a business owner in the city of Calgary, what I want to do, Brian, excuse me, is I want to understand, you put your motion into council in July, and we know that this motion is going to cost tens of thousands of dollars between trying to find a court-appointed laboratory to test a shark fin, like you say, for DNA. It's going to cost money to put the bylaw together, and I seriously mean tens of thousands of dollars. In July, you put the motion forward, but we knew in the springtime that we couldn't fund a 911 call center, and we're going to spend tens of thousands of dollars, and animal services and bylaw services, we've spent all this money. My business taxes just went up 55% in the last year, and yet we're wasting this money, but yet we don't fund a 911 call center. So to me, for you, it looks like that shark fin is more important to you than a 911 call center, and I need to understand that.
Not at all. We just funded the 911 call center to an extra $2 million. So I think $2 million is certainly more than $10,000.
It's not the answer I was looking for.
Now, I said earlier that we were going to try to turn this into answer period, but at no point did I say that you were guaranteed you were going to get the answer you were looking for. You were going to get an answer. So that's how that works. Next question.
I just want to mention one thing.
Name, please, and spell your last name.
My name is Kim Chiu. I'm from the Chinese community. I belong to the Association of Sumzik in Chinatown. My understanding about the whole issue here is this process, the bylaw, passing the trying to bring the bylaw into the office, and then proposing on the bylaw and going into reading, yeah, it was done without consultation of majority of the Chinese people. I can say more than 80% of people here were not consulted, yeah? That's true, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now, when I was listening to what you were saying earlier, you were saying that a bylaw has been passed. When you pass it and you have to enforce it, and you say you have no way of 100% guarantee with the enforced property. So what's the point of doing when you guys are spending our taxpayer money and doing the bylaw, and you cannot enforce it? So what's the point of doing it? There's no point. Now, my other point is, if you have such a suggestion, and you should be working together with the federal government and solve this problem, and not bringing it to the city and trying to inflict on us, which is not fair. Referring to the Chinese community, I tell you, I talk to most of the Chinese. We are on the side of conservation. We like to preserve the shark, yeah? We like to protect the shark, but not at the expense of us. We have to work together with the federal government and work together with the world to do that. And not in the city itself all alone. It doesn't do anything, right?
I agree with you completely. I agree with you completely. This is a global problem. This is something that we need to have our federal government work with. It is something that we need national governments across the planet to work on. And by the city of Calgary saying, this is something that's important to us, we are sending a strong message. We are sending a strong message to Stephen Harper and the federal government that they need to do something about it.
Yes, you are sending a strong message, but at the expense of the Chinese people here. Calgary, that's not fair.
200 kilograms. So I'm not going to pretend that I actually know anything about the Chinese community.
My understanding is,
So when we take a look at how much was brought into Calgary, 200 kilograms. It's not very much.
yes, you're right.
So if it's not very much, what is the impact on it?
So what's the point of enforcing that?
Because
Wasting the money. How do you set up an office to look after this? How do you have police officers going around making sure everybody is consuming something? You can't do that, right? So what happens if I call 311 all the time and say, look here, I'm seeing somebody sitting shopping. How do I do it? You guys do it. That's at our expense, again, right?
and shark fin, or smoking, or somebody speeding, or somebody not picking up their weeds, or dog poop in the park, please do call 311.
So if you keep doing that, that's at our expense again. So it's waste of our taxpayer money.
Thousands and thousands of Calgarians, the vast majority of the people who contacted me, don't feel that this is a waste.
Oh, I don't believe that. Now, the other thing is, when you guys try to impose something, you do not have a real budget, and you do not have a dollar figure. And that's what we are really getting. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you. Next question.
My name is Alvin. I'm also involved in community work in Calgary. I got something to ask two elements. Brian and John, you are both elected to be the alderman for City of Calgary, is that correct? So why do you guys get involved of international food problem like the shark fin? And I disagree with you that you say that you have many supporters or thousands of people support you, but there are millions of people in Calgary. I don't think all agree. Can I ask you again, can you find shark in the Bow River?
Oh, I hope not.
Yes.
Okay, so please stay out of it because if you're dealing with species, it is the government of Canada's job. It's not your guys' council to look after. Please stay out of it. You are paid to look after the citizens of the community in the Calgary and not look after international problems. We don't pay your taxes if you're sorry for them.
Francis Liu, LIU. You seem to think that this is just a symbolic gesture. Well, something that you only eat 200 kilograms is symbolic, right? Why don't you act, go to the federal government, punish those people who do the thing? Isn't that the proper value? Somebody before asked about the value, right? There are other values. You can work with the United Nations, punish those who allow finning in their territory, all the ships that go and do the finning. Isn't that the proper way to do things? Instead of saying, oh, this only affects a small community in Calgary. That's how the Chinese Exclusion Act came about.
You're quite right, and we are doing all of those things. Sorry, you're quite right, and we are doing all of those things.
I hope there's something written.
Yes, Mayor Nenshi actually sent a letter to
Yes.
to the minister
Several ministers.
Several ministers on behalf of the citizens of Calgary. But we do appreciate your comments and your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is David Wilson, W-I-L-S-O-N. I'm one of the more than 11,000 Calgarians who signed the petition that was presented to the City Council. And my question is, to the Chinese community as a whole, when is it time to realize that traditions evolve? And when is it time to recognize that consequences for the rest of the planet are more important than, as John, obviously a visible member of the Chinese community, mentions, we're talking about a bowl of soup. Now, I understand that there's an issue here on consultation, but I can say personally, as someone who collected probably more than 1,500 signatures of the 11,000 signatures on that we presented to the City of Calgary, that there were more Asian Calgarians signed on that petition than there are standing in this room right now. So, consultation took place, venues across the City of Calgary. We actively engaged with Sean Chu, who told us that the Calgary Chinese Merchants Association did not want to sit down with Sharp Finsbury Calgary and have this discussion in June.
And so your question?
So my question is,
What's the question? It's question time.
my question
Why
don't you sit over there?
Sit up there.
Hold on.
Please let him continue.
All sides get to talk here.
Yeah.
All points of view get to be expressed. That's the point of the town hall meeting.
Yeah.
This gentleman has the right to ask his question, but he's running out of time to do it.
Thank you. My question, I posed right at the start, and I'll let Richard Poon speak on behalf of the Chinese community. Now, recognizing that I believe Mr. Poon has a significant financial interest as a provider. But my question, sorry.
Good enough. Ask
My
the question.
question is, at what point does the tradition become a static thing that does not evolve? When do traditions not